Confluence. Noun. A flowing together of two streams or two streams of influence. The two rivers met in a muddy confluence where driftwood spun in slow circles. Embolden. Verb. To give someone more courage to do something risky. The quiet applause seemed to embolden him, and he finally named what had gone wrong. Ardent. Adjective. Very enthusiastic and heartfelt in feeling. She was an ardent supporter of the library tax, even when neighbors grumbled at her door. Flippant. Adjective. Not serious enough for a situation that deserves respect. His flippant joke landed badly in the room where people were still shaken by the news. Cryptic. Adjective. Having a meaning that is hidden or hard to read. The note was cryptic, just a time and a bench number scratched on the receipt. Bucolic. Adjective. Pastoral and peaceful in a simple country way. They picnicked in a bucolic bend of the river, cows watching from the far fence. Garrulous. Adjective. Fond of talking at length, often about small matters. The garrulous barber told the whole shop about his son's apprenticeship before the second snip. Chicanery. Noun. Deception or trickery, especially through clever misuse of rules. The refund policy looked like plain chicanery once you read the exceptions in fine print. Anomaly. Noun. Something that differs from what is usual, often in a striking way. A single ripe tomato in November was an anomaly on the frost-blackened vine. Hapless. Adjective. Unlucky in a way that invites sympathy. The hapless tourist chased his hat across the plaza while pigeons scattered in every direction. Dawdle. Verb. To move slowly or waste time without purpose. She liked to dawdle past the bakery window, breathing butter and sugar before work. Curt. Adjective. Rudely short in speech or manner. His curt reply sent the intern back to her desk with a flushed face and a shorter question. Iconoclast. Noun. A person who attacks settled beliefs or respected figures. The essay cast her as an iconoclast, gleefully puncturing myths the town still printed on brochures. Credence. Noun. Belief that something is true or deserves respect. Fingerprint evidence gave credence to a story that had sounded exaggerated at first. Jettison. Verb. To throw away something you no longer need, often in a hurry. They jettisoned extra gear at the trailhead when the climb turned steeper than the map promised. Copious. Adjective. Existing in large amounts. He kept copious notes in the margins, tiny arrows pointing to questions he would ask the author. Kindred. Adjective. Similar in origin, feeling, or character. She found a kindred spirit in the mechanic who preferred old engines to flashy dashboards. Deferential. Adjective. Showing respectful submission to someone else's authority or judgment. The staff were deferential but firm, refusing the favor even while they apologized for the rule. Languish. Verb. To weaken from neglect, longing, or poor conditions. Without sunlight, the fern began to languish, its fronds pale and thin at the tips. Aversion. Noun. A strong dislike or reluctance toward something. He had a deep aversion to karaoke, yet he still drove friends to the bar on birthdays. Nebulous. Adjective. Vague or cloud-like, rather than clear and fixed. Their plan remained nebulous, a fog of good intentions without dates or owners. Obstreperous. Adjective. Noisy and hard to control, often in a defiant way. The obstreperous puppy knocked over the water bowl and slid across the kitchen tile. Decorous. Adjective. Polite and proper in a way that fits formal settings. The ceremony stayed decorous, with whispered programs and careful shoes on marble. Deface. Verb. To spoil the surface or appearance of something on purpose. Someone tried to deface the poster, but the ink smeared in the rain before it dried. Ascendant. Adjective. Rising in power, influence, or success. Small craft breweries were ascendant in the district, replacing chains with steel tanks and chalk menus. Panegyric. Noun. A speech or piece of writing that praises someone or something highly. The magazine ran a panegyric to the coach that embarrassed him at the team breakfast. Baleful. Adjective. Threatening harm or evil in a menacing way. The owl turned a baleful stare on the flashlight beam, then glided off without a sound. Boisterous. Adjective. Loud, energetic, and rough in a cheerful way. Boisterous kids stampeded through the gym, sneakers squealing until the coach blew a whistle. Calumny. Noun. A false statement made to damage someone's reputation. She would not repeat the calumny about the principal, not even after a third glass of wine. Rancorous. Adjective. Full of bitterness and long-held ill will. Their rancorous emails filled the thread until the moderator asked for phone calls only. Catharsis. Noun. An emotional release that brings relief after tension. Scrubbing the floor after the argument felt like catharsis, simple motion after sharp words. Sedition. Noun. Speech or action that stirs people to rebel against lawful authority. The pamphlet crossed the line from protest into sedition, and the printers knew it. Countermand. Verb. To cancel an order by giving a later opposite command. Headquarters had to countermand the evacuation when the all-clear sounded sooner than expected. Acquiesce. Verb. To accept something reluctantly without arguing openly. She acquiesced to the schedule change, though it cost her the weekend trip she had booked. Umbrage. Noun. Offense or resentment at a slight or insult. He took umbrage at the joke about his truck, then laughed when a friend tossed him the keys. Vacuous. Adjective. Empty of serious thought or useful meaning. The interview stayed vacuous, all slogans and smiles with no plan for the failing pipes. Wanton. Adjective. Reckless and without moral restraint, often causing needless harm. The storm did wanton damage, ripping shingles off roofs that had stood for decades. Zealous. Adjective. Full of eager energy and devotion to a cause. Zealous volunteers filled sandbags through the night, headlights cutting the river fog. Erstwhile. Adjective. Former, belonging to an earlier time. Her erstwhile roommate sent a postcard from Lisbon, the handwriting still familiar after years. Mawkish. Adjective. Sickly sentimental in a way that feels excessive. The film turned mawkish in the final scene. Piano swelling as the dog limped home in slow motion. Xenophobia. Noun. Fear or dislike of people from other countries. The editorial condemned the xenophobia in the campaign flyers left on windshields downtown. Yoke. Verb. To join two things together, often in a way that limits freedom. Debt can yoke a small business to lenders who suddenly care about every receipt. That's everything for this session. If this helped you, subscribe for more. See you next time.